should have had champagne for this episode.
Do you got any?
No.
Shoot.
We should have, though.
Yeah.
Why should we have had champagne for this episode?
52 episodes have been in the books after tonight.
And how many weeks are in an entire year?
1 year is 52 weeks.
There we go. I don't know that off the top of my head. Maybe the rest of the world doesn't.
Everybody knows that there's 52 weeks in a year.
Well, did you know that there are 52 weeks in a year? If so, you're like Matt. And if not, and you had to think about it for a minute, you might be like me. Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm Matt.
Welcome to Midwest Married in our 1-year anniversary episode. So technically, we've been at this a little over a year, right?
Correct.
There have been a couple weeks where we had to take a break. Yep. Life is crazy.
So it's like 13 and a half months after the fact.
Awesome. Way to go.
Yeah.
So what do we get for our anniversary, Matt?
What do we get?
It's like our work-iversary, even though it's really more of a hobby.
Yeah, we get a late night and some Diet Coke. And
sparkle water.
And sparkling water.
And we should have had champagne.
Oh.
We did not think ahead.
Holy cow. Yeah, I searched up different topics that we could talk about on Reddit in regards to anniversaries. Won't lie. It was a hard topic to find really like juicy stories, but I think we're going to be able to touch on these stories.
That surprises me. I would have thought that a lot of people would have had strong feelings about anniversaries. You know, the celebrating of, accomplishing like a year of something, right? Or 6 months or, et cetera, whatever the timeline is that you're celebrating that anniversary for. So that surprises me because typically, strong emotions. I brought up what are we going to get for this because it makes me think of my 1 year at work. You know what I got for my 1 year working?
Nope.
Okay. So he's retired now, but my collaborating physician who is my one of my very key mentors. And I mean, he was near retirement age when I started, right? But he went and baked a cake himself and he brought it to the clinic to share with everybody. And because he had taught me how to do ingrown toenail removals, he designed very lovingly with sprinkles and, those sugar glitter candy or whatever.
Cake?
A toenail cake. Yes, it was. There was a foot with this bloody toenail on it. And it was fabulous. So, and very delicious. So, yeah, no cake for us today. But that was what I got for my 1 year work-iversary.
Nice.
Back in the day.
Yeah, Ryan got a cookie from his work for his 5th year anniversary.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And that was his bonus for the year.
Man.
Rough.
That is rough. At that point.
He's moved on.
At that point, though, you probably should just not do anything, right?
Yeah.
Just
avoid it.
Then, more of like a heartfelt.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Maybe an email that says hey, this is what we really appreciate you. That will probably be a lot better than just a cookie. And hey, here's your bonus.
Right.
5 years. I don't know. It just doesn't hit the same. Unless you baked it yourself and decorated it with frosting and made some memorable figurine on top of it. Like a toenail.
I don't get anything for a work anniversary. We do our bonuses at a different time of the year. And it's just, we get an email. Says, hey, thanks for being a part of the team. Glad we have you.
I think the hospital now does on the big anniversaries, like a 10-year anniversary, you get to pick a little gift or something from this catalog or whatever the equivalent of that is online. So I think I picked a hiking backpack the last time. I actually didn't mind that. I thought that was pretty nice. You get to pick what you want. Yeah. So anyway.
Cool.
But we're talking not about work anniversaries, relationship anniversaries, right?
Just in general.
Okay.
I searched anniversary everything on Reddit. Okay. Here we are.
Gotcha. We've had a few anniversaries. What anniversary are we on this year for being married. This year
10.
will be 10. That's a big one.
It's like a decade.
I know. Liz Miller.
Yeah. Overall, I don't know, 24-ish, 23.
Altogether.
Yeah,
Something
somewhere
like that.
around there.
And we've always tried to celebrate our anniversary. We haven't let it like just slide by without doing something together, right?
Right.
Some go better than others. Some are planned out more than others. Some might
Some we
just
wing
be
it.
some we wing it and watch Netflix and,
Yeah.
eat takeout, and others we get dressed up and fancy and go out. One we ended up at a strip club.
Yes. If you're a Two Hot Takes avid listener, we were on an episode and we talked about our 5-year anniversary.
That was
our
not
5th.
planned, and it was during COVID, and the whole thing was empty, and
The city was shut down.
I know. It was kind of fabulous. It's the only time I've ever in my life gone to a strip club, and I think I want to like hold that memory and some like
It was her idea for the
little...
record.
It was right down the street. I had never done it. It was like, well, let's go try something new. Anyway, I'm going to hold on to that memory.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's dive into this first one.
Let's do it.
Am I the asshole for not reminding my husband about holidays, birthdays, and anniversaries? My in-laws' anniversary was about 2 months ago. They live on the other side of the country, so it would typically mean a phone call or maybe a card being sent over. Well, I guess my husband forgot about it and didn't call his parents or send them a card. I found this out because my mother-in-law called me and was disappointed that they didn't hear from any of us. I told her that my husband probably should have put the anniversary in his calendar and set a reminder, which he never does. She asked me why I didn't keep track of this stuff for him because he's a guy. They don't care about that stuff. She mentioned he'd skip his sister's birthday, his and niece's and nephew's birthdays too, and that I should start trying to remind him. And then she said, oh, and don't forget, Mother's Day is coming up as well. I said that she would have to talk to him about this, and it didn't sit well with her. She got annoyed and told me that, like it or not, it's kind of my job to keep track of his stuff. Because again, guys don't care. I said, well, if he doesn't care, he doesn't care. I'm not his mother.
I love that she said that to his mother. Maybe she should remind her son. Anyway.
She ended up talking to him about this, and he got pretty annoyed with me for not reminding him about this stuff and that he just doesn't remember this kind of stuff. He said that we're a team and that he's obviously not good at this, so I should step up. I asked him what the release date for a video game he'd been talking about was. He said the exact date. I just looked at him for a minute and he got pretty defensive and said, that's totally different.
Right.
Then I said we should make a calendar together that we both have on our phones so we could get reminders for important dates. He agreed, so I started the calendar, entered in my dates, and it has been sitting there unused for the past 2 months. What happened? Yeah, he missed another event. And the whole thing started again. But now it's become this big war between his family and me for not keeping up on the big events because it's supposed to be my job. He got really mad at me for not filling in the calendar for him because I should know all the dates anyway. I don't know. Am I the asshole?
No, absolutely not. He's totally the asshole in this situation. Or the mother is totally the asshole in this situation. Like, this is weaponized incompetence. Oh, I'm not good at it. I'm not good at remembering dates. Who's good at remembering dates? Maybe a very few select people are truly good at remembering dates, but nobody's born naturally good at that, right? It's like you put in the effort, you realize that something is important, and if it's important to you, then you do the steps to remind yourself of everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. You put it in your calendar if you feel like it's an important thing, right? Like you can't and he says we're a team. Well, what's he doing for the team? He's not doing anything for the team. He's just letting her, or expecting her to be the leader while he passively hangs out and then takes credit for all of her mental labor of reminding him, oh, make sure that you call your mom to wish her a happy anniversary. Make sure that you call your niece and wish her a happy birthday. Make sure that you call such and such, and right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
don't forget about this anniversary. Don't forget about this birthday. Don't forget about, it's not fair. He has, I assume, a perfectly fine, working, healthy brain, and he should use it. That's what I think. Apparently, I'm fired up about this.
I guess.
Yes.
Wow.
So I watched something the other day where it was like, I guess a mother-in-law, bless you, like a mother-in-law getting upset with the, not even her son, but the daughter-in-law because her son's relationship with her had pulled away.
Mm-hmm.
Because, all through the early years, perhaps the wife or the daughter-in-law was reminding him, hey, make sure you call your mom. Make sure have you called your mom back? Hey, your mom called, you missed it. Did you call her back? Hey,
Right.
her birthday's coming up, and then maybe as years goes on and they have kids together, or she has, a million other, household manager duties to remember. And she's
Mhm.
like, trying to do everything. And that kind of falls to the wayside because it really probably shouldn't be her job to manage her husband's relationship with his mother, right?
Mhm.
Basically what that is doing. So over the years, they fall apart or the mother and the son drift apart because the son is not being proactive in doing the things that he should be doing to maintain that relationship with his mother in the first place. And then the daughter-in-law gets the blame for the distance between the mother and son.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could see how that would happen. And it's just totally not fair to me. Like, if people value a relationship, they need to be in charge of that relationship themselves and put in the effort. It can't come from somebody else working in the background.
Right.
What do you think?
I'm with you. I agree. Yeah. I will say maybe she could kind of maybe help him from time to time on some of those dates, but overall, he's got to step up to the plate and write it down in his calendar and do the things. And if he honestly doesn't care, then why should the wife care? Who cares?
Yeah. She can't care more than he does.
Right.
I also think okay, well, she could remind him. Well, he could remind her too of things. Like, is he also doing that? Again, team, you have to go both ways, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to help each other and be like, oh, hey, softball is this day or whatever. And then the other person tells them, okay, well, not just the release of the video game that he's looking out for. Like, clearly his brain is working. He knows that date
Yeah.
very well.
The important things in life.
Oh, yeah. It's just not important to him.
So I had found this one and I picked it out purposely to ask, have you ever forgotten an anniversary that we've had or a birthday or an event?
I don't think so. I don't think you have either, though.
I have.
You did?
One time.
When?
Not our anniversary. 10/10. Got it. It was your birthday though.
You forgot my birthday once?
Kind of.
Well, you sure covered well for it because I don't recollect this at all.
You were in Florida.
Uh-huh.
It was the first birthday that you would have been there by yourself. And I was working here in Minnesota. And I had called you after my long day.
Yeah.
Was driving home. We had had beers after work. It was 7:00 here, 8:00 where you were. And I just called to talk and you're like, anything else? And I was like, oh, shoot.
I called you out on it?
Yeah.
Well, apparently it didn't bother me that much then.
And then you hung up.
Oh, apparently it did bother me.
Yeah.
I blocked it.
So other than that, I can say, yeah, I've not forgot anything else though.
Yeah.
So last year, however, Mr. Miller, who is on the podcast from time to time, and his wife both forgot their anniversary.
That's funny. Yes. Yes, that is funny.
So they celebrated it on the wrong day.
Yeah. And didn't they like post it like they didn't realize they were celebrating it on the wrong day or something?
Yeah.
And they posted it to Instagram. And I was like, huh.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Maybe I must be wrong. I must
Yeah.
be off on my dates or whatever.
Right.
I do like the idea of the calendar, though. We have a shared, we don't really have a shared calendar, but through our iPhones, I always invite you to the things. Like, I do a pretty good job of putting everything in the calendar because I will forget if it's not in the calendar. So I just put in the work, take the extra time and put it in.
Yeah.
So then it shows up. But then you do a good job of looking at the calendar to see what's going on.
Yeah, we got it down. We don't forget much.
No.
So,
Well, what do the people say?
not the asshole is what the people say.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Across the board, not the asshole. Apparently, your mother-in-law thinks that marriage is basically just hiring a secretary.
Right? That's basically what mom is doing. Maybe that worked for her in her relationship, but not every relationship is going to work that same way. And so if they're cool with it, great. But
Everybody just basically says the same thing. You're not his mom. Time to grow up, Peter Pan. That's
time
it.
to share some of the mental load that your wife is carrying. She doesn't need to add that on her plate also.
No. So this was one that we're just going to bop in because it's kind of along the same lines. And it was
Okay.
something we actually discussed recently. Am I the asshole if I forgot my monthly anniversary?
Monthly anniversary.
So I think when we were young, real young,
Yeah.
right? And this OP here does mention they are both 16.
Okay, yeah. When relationships didn't last that long, you'd celebrate your 1 month anniversary and your 2 month anniversary, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Yep. And we actually know somebody who was doing this and they were actually a bit older,
Yes.
which was very surprising to us.
Yes. Like 3 month anniversary or something like
Mhm.
that, like in a snap or whatever. I'm like, huh, okay.
I have a lot of things to remember, and dates is not one of the things that I'm real good at.
See, nobody's good at it.
My boyfriend, Nate, got mad at me because I forgot that yesterday was our anniversary. And I just today told him, hey, happy 3 months. He asked me how I could forget such an important date, but I've been slammed with work around the house, trying to take care of the yard, doing chores, and helping with my brother from time to time. I've been so overwhelmed lately. Also, a lack of sleep, staying up late is catching up to me. He said that I was a dumbass that needs to start remembering shit, but he never told me happy 3 months yesterday either. Maybe he was waiting for me to say it? I'm not sure. I told him I'm sorry for forgetting and I'll do better, but he really made me feel like the asshole.
Here's my opinion. Dump him. Dump him. The moment he name called you, get out. Nope. That was good 3 months. Maybe it wasn't. Who knows? But clearly it's not meant to be.
Top comment, not the asshole. Dump him and run for the fucking hills, girl.
Yes.
He's nuttier than squirrel shit.
Yes, absolutely.
He called you a dumbass over a 3 month anniversary? That's more than enough, but I'm sure there are boatloads of reasons. Cut bait.
And he needs, honestly, you'd be doing him a favor because he needs to learn that he cannot act that way in a relationship if he wants to have a good, healthy, successful relationship.
Yeah.
So, and you deserve better. So, name calling. Nope.
So, one more comment from the people. Damn, I've been married for 42 years, and by my calculations, I am owed 2,310 gifts. And that doesn't even include dating anniversaries.
I mean, yeah.
So there was an edit, and it says, I finally was able to break things off with him. He didn't take it well, but I did it.
Good. Good for you. That was the right call.
Yeah. All right. So we just talked about Ryan and Liz having their anniversary. So
Yeah.
this story is going to kind of play into friends, like some of our close friends. Keep them in mind.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for not giving my best friend an anniversary gift?
For her anniversary?
I, 20 female, and my best friend Hannah, 20 female, have been best friends since we were babies, partly due to our moms also being childhood friends and having us play together quite a bit. We always buy each other birthday and Christmas gifts and celebrate holidays hanging out together. Just over a week ago, Hannah hit her 1-year anniversary of being in a relationship with her boyfriend, Mason, 22 male, which is a big deal as she has never had a relationship this long term before. Her longest previous relationship lasted 6 months. On our most recent catch up, Hannah brought up a few times their anniversary was coming up. She told me that she had bought 3 gifts for Mason. She then said that Mason had, on a whim, recently bought her TV box set. However, it slipped his mind that their anniversary was coming up and told her afterwards the purchase meant he would not be able to buy another gift for their anniversary because he couldn't afford it. Hannah seemed annoyed at him, but brushed it off as a joke, like, oh, isn't it so cute how silly and forgetful he is? On their 1-year anniversary, I sent both Hannah and Mason a short, hey guys, happy 1 year. Mason replied with, thanks, but Hannah never responded. As I mentioned previously, our moms were childhood friends and speak frequently. 3 days post Hannah and Mason's anniversary, my mom approached me and said, Hannah's mom said that Hannah had expressed she was upset with me for not giving her an anniversary card or gift. This puzzled me because I didn't think it was the normal to give someone an anniversary gift unless you're in the relationship yourself or they are married, and I didn't expect or even think Hannah would want a gift from me. So I messaged Hannah straight away and apologized, but explained that I didn't think people usually gifted their friend a 1-year anniversary gift for their relationship. She replied 10 hours later with a long text telling me how wrong it was to not get them a gift and that I didn't support their relationship because it seems that I don't like them sometimes and that I'm jealous because I'm not in a relationship, but how I don't have to take that out on them. Admittedly, I was skeptical of Mason at first because Hannah has, well, a bad track record with toxic and manipulative boyfriends. But now I get along with him just fine. I texted her back and told her that she was completely mistaken and that I had no ill intention. I've texted her multiple times since this conversation and have been left on read every single time. No reply. I tried phoning her and she doesn't pick up. I messaged Mason, but he hasn't responded either. So, am I the asshole?
No, I do not think that OP is the asshole at all. I think that, I mean, I personally have never gotten any of my friends or even like my family anniversary gifts, right? Like for their, especially dating or what, like wedding, like maybe like my parents' 50th anniversary. But I think we just like went to a dinner and had dinner and right? Like I don't even think I got them a gift for that.
Maybe a card, but
maybe a card or something like that. But that's like, you know, a big milestone. I feel like that's a bit different than, okay, dating 1 year. How are people even supposed to know? Like, I don't know. I guess they're best friends, so she would know her dating anniversary if they talk about it all the time. But
it's
you
weird.
weren't invited to a wedding, you know, to know the date, right? And so I think it's weird and off. And I think that she's misdirecting her anger that she has at her boyfriend because she felt like her boyfriend should give her a gift, which I think is, you know, more the norm. Yeah. And she's directing it towards her friend instead because she honestly, she probably feels safer with her friend and she's just, you know, using her as a scapegoat in a way.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think.
Yeah, I'll say that. No, I don't think it's in the norm to go out and buy your friends gifts specifically for their anniversary. Now, I think maybe in the past, like for maybe Ryan and Alyssa's anniversary, I think maybe we had gotten them a bottle of wine one time, like off the cuff, like we were going to see them and like,
oh yeah, hey.
But no, I would never expect somebody to get us an anniversary gift.
Never.
No.
That's just silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's my question then.
Okay.
Did the boyfriend, because he spent all his money on something else, right? He couldn't afford to buy her a gift. Did he make her something for the anniversary? Did he make her a card? Or, like
He bought her a
lot
TV.
Well, but that wasn't for the anniversary. It was probably just as much for him as it was for her, I would guess, right?
I don't know.
If they're living together, or who knows? We don't know. But especially in our younger years, we used to do a lot of little homemade little gifts.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You still have them in a shoebox somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're downstairs.
Yeah.
I know where they're at.
Like one of them was like this, those big Hershey's Kisses?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I was very cheesy in my youth, by the way. I took the box and took the Hershey's Kiss out of it. And then I wrote down like reasons why I love you. And wrote like a million different reasons on these little pieces of paper and folded them a special way and stuck them all in there. And I think I gave it to you and it was like, well, if you ever need to know why I love you, here's the present.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you kept it. So.
Could you imagine if I threw it away?
I mean, blasphemy. That would be rude.
That was really rude.
Really fucking rude.
Yeah. So, no.
So still, in a shoebox in the basement somewhere, I think. Every now and then we find it and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore. We could, but he could have done something like that. He should have done something like that.
Yeah.
It's not always about the money. It's about celebrating your relationship and making your partner feel valued and loved and special.
Right. Top comment is, I had to double check the age of the OP and her friend like 5 times because this is some elementary drama bullshit. No, not the asshole. Nobody buys someone an anniversary gift for a relationship they aren't even in.
Right.
No one gives people gifts for an anniversary. LOL. My husband and I usually do dinner, but that's it. And my mom gives me a gift to take her grandson for dinner.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your mom once called the restaurant and paid for our dinner for our anniversary. That was really, really sweet. That was last year? The year
2
before?
years ago.
Yeah. So that was really super sweet, but
yeah,
that was your mom. And definitely not expected. Like, it was quite the surprise.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gifts. What do you want this year?
I want to do like a weekend trip or something. I want to travel and have an experience of some kind.
Well, if I do that and we do that trip, you're not going to get a gift. Okay. Got it? Perfect. Got that settled.
That is also fine, because we also just usually don't do gifts, but we usually do like dinner.
Right.
Or a weekend. So quality time. That's what I want.
Because we're talking about gifts.
Yes.
I found this one on like, what's an appropriate gift to buy?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to look something up momentarily, but am I the asshole for buying my girlfriend a blender instead of a necklace that she wanted for our anniversary?
Perhaps.
All right. Before I start, I'd like to say that my girlfriend and I are both women. Lesbians. Yep. I say this to hopefully preempt the typical man comments. Mm-hmm. This happened last month, but my best friend and hers are still giving me shit about this. We had our 1-year anniversary, and I asked what she wanted, and she told me, oh, just something romantic, like a little necklace or something cute. While browsing around on Amazon, I found an emulsion blender, and it pinged in my head. My girlfriend loves to cook and always talks about all these gadgets she wants, and that's one of the items that was on her list. She was trying to make homemade tomato sauce, and I remember her complaining how hard it was to get the sauce smooth because she didn't have an emulsion blender. I'm a very practical gift giver. I like to give things people will use, so I bought it and was super excited to give it to her. The day rolls around and she gives me a bottle of whiskey I'd been eyeing for quite some time, but could just never justify the cost. I was so hyped and encouraged my girlfriend to open hers. She opened it and her face kind of fell flat. And she goes, "Oh, an emulsion blender." And I told her, I remembered her talking about all the kitchen gadgets she wanted. She kept her cool, but told me that while she appreciated the thought, she was upset that it wasn't jewelry. I was so confused. She had to explain that she felt like anniversaries should be more about romantic, sentimental gifts versus practical, that she appreciated it greatly, but couldn't lie to me that she wished it had been the necklace that she had pointed out to me online. It was nothing fancy, a $30 mushroom necklace. I shared my woes with my friend, and my friend thought it was hilarious that I was so inept, and that he understood why my girlfriend was upset with her gift. Girlfriend's best friend also got wind of this situation and has been giving me shit, telling my girlfriend to go back to the kitchen jokes. My girlfriend and I are fine, but I know she was disappointed, and she ended up buying a necklace herself a week after I gave her that blender. So, am I the asshole for giving a practical gift?
Okay, I don't want to say not the asshole, right? Like, I would never say you're an asshole, because look at that intent. I have to say that I love this couple, and I think it's a really funny, cute story. Because I can totally see her side of it, where she's like, my wife is going to love this. You know, she was just complaining that she needed one of these, and I've got it. It's the perfect thing. She's never going to buy it for herself, so this makes for a great gift. Awesome. Here, you know, I could see her excitement and then it just falling flat. Here's where I think she went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She set up the expectation for jewelry because she asked, "What do you want for the anniversary?" And the reply was not kitchen tools. The reply was jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get that feedback, you have to go with that feedback, right? So that's, I think, where she went wrong. Had she absolutely not asked, "What do you want for our anniversary?" She might not have been okay still, but it probably wouldn't have landed so hard, right?
Sure.
Because she didn't set that expectation exactly where it was going to be. Because her wife probably knows that she's very much a practical gift giver. She's probably gotten many other practical gifts, but she's probably really looking forward, because I gave you this direction and this is what I want.
You blew it.
For it to be a sentimental thing. And I do think it's pretty common knowledge that anniversaries can tend to lean more towards sentimental things that you don't, you know, something that like symbolizes your relationship or makes you think of your love for each other.
I have a really bad memory, apparently, because I'm trying to think back. I know in our youth, I bought you a ton of jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what I've gotten you for. I know we don't often do gifts anymore, but I always try to get you something. I can't remember what I've gotten you.
Not jewelry.
Not jewelry.
Not lately.
Nope. But, okay, so I'm not sure if that person... Okay, go ahead.
Here's the thing, though. I think with this cute couple, it is very salvageable, because all you have to do is go and pick out some jewelry. I know that she already bought her necklace, especially if it was only a $30 necklace. You probably shouldn't have waited. Like that night, you should have been on Amazon and ordered it up and just given it to her and been like, "Sorry, I messed up, but I really want you to have what you wanted. And so I got it for you anyway." So now that she's already bought it for herself, you need to just go and find something else that is equally beautiful and somehow sentimental and speaks to your relationship together, whether it's like a birthstone or
a mushroom bracelet,
like something matching, or, you know, something like that. You can salvage this. You just got to go back to the store.
So I was thinking, so the way they spelled emulsion, kind of threw me, but immersion, it's an immersion blender, like one of the handheld deals, right?
Yeah, that kind of blender.
I was thinking this blender was going to be like $600. They're not that expensive. They're very affordable.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are fancy ones out there, and it doesn't need
Yeah.
to
On
be about
average,
the price.
No, I agree. I was just thinking in my brain while I was like reading this story, I was like, you should be happy that you got this really sick blender and like you go buy yourself your $30 necklace. No, bad take, man comment.
You're practical gift giver, Matt. So practical.
So practical.
Mm.
So the people,
Mm-hmm. What do the people say?
asshole.
Oh, they didn't find this as cute as funny as I did.
Asshole. All around.
Oh,
The people, assholes. So,
okay. Did you think that she was an asshole?
no.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I'm more forgiving than that.
I was just thinking that the immersion or emulsion blender was so much cooler than what it was.
Oh. No,
Like-
it's just one of those little...
It's like,
Little
if the
blenders.
necklace was nothing fancy, only $30, then maybe you should have bought both.
Maybe.
I don't know.
There's another solution.
That's what I would have done.
There you go. Give what you want to give and then also give what I want to get.
Yeah,
There you go. Compromise.
it's perfect.
All right. Good. Okay. Now we're moving on.
Yep.
Okay.
We're taking it into a different direction. Am I the asshole for celebrating my anniversary despite what happened at my wedding? My husband and I had our wedding last year. The venue was beautiful and bordered a lake. Unfortunately, during the reception, one of the young children snuck away from their parents and decided to go for a swim, despite not being able to.
No.
This was tragic and devastating, and obviously cut the day short. We haven't really spoken to the parents since then, as we weren't close to them aside from seeing them on holidays, which obviously hasn't happened this year. We are still Facebook friends though. When our first anniversary came, I made a post celebrating our anniversary with a few wedding photos. I didn't think anything of it until the comments came flooding in. I woke up to 30 comments and 15 missed phone calls. The top comment was from the mother of the child, who was outraged. Yikes. She wrote a very long comment about how my post was disrespectful of the tragedy that happened on that day and how dare I post and not mention their child. 30 comments later, and it was clear that the entire family had clearly started to take sides in a battle I didn't realize I was creating. As of today, we're at 150 comments. My friends and my parents are now involved as well. Half of the family is screaming for me to take it down, apologize to the parents, and show more respect, possibly by even celebrating our anniversary on a different day. Some of the family think that we should still be able to celebrate on the actual day, but just keep it offline to keep the peace. I don't think I did anything wrong with my post, and I feel like I should be allowed to celebrate our anniversary just like anybody else. I'm not celebrating the tragedy, I'm celebrating the wedding. Am I the asshole?
Wow. Maybe. Kinda. Especially after, like, I could see how. I don't know if I would do that. Try to, like, give the benefit of the doubt, being like, okay, it's their first anniversary, post a couple pictures, right? But then you immediately get that feedback that, hey, what you did is hurtful, and you just leave it until it has 150 messages that are like, hey, dude, this is in poor taste. And you don't take it down. And like, I think that's all the feedback that you generally need to be like, hey, this isn't cool, right? Like, I'm assuming that child died and they don't say, but
Yeah. He went for a swim, but couldn't swim. He gone.
I mean,
he passed away tragically. But I'm just saying, yes, he's not. I feel horrible about it.
Yes. Okay. I don't know. I just cannot, like, at all have any sort of, I can't even think about it, you guys. Like, this kind of stuff, it just, like, breaks my heart. And so you can't, as it would break anybody's heart. And so I can't imagine having a happy reminder on the day that your child passed away, right? Like seeing someone else, I don't know, I just, at the event that it happened, I could see how that would be soul crushing for a mother. And I think that could be really, really hurtful, and not to like have that kind of insight. And then when people tell you that you should have that insight, and then you just double down kind of, and you leave it up there. I mean, I think that was probably the asshole part.
Sure.
Should she not be able to celebrate her anniversary on her wedding? I mean, I think that they should, but they shouldn't be posting necessarily. Like, I don't know. I just think that I could see how it would be hurtful.
It's odd to me that they haven't spoken since the incident, even though they were close enough to be at your wedding, which is interesting. But there are a few edits.
Yeah.
So, first edit, I have changed the post to only be visible to me, and I deleted all of the comments to stop the arguing. But from the email we just received, those comments were just a symptom of a much larger problem. My mother-in-law, damn mother-in-laws, right? My mother-in-law just sent us an email with, from what I can tell, roughly 3/4 of my husband's family CC'd on it. His parents, grandparents, and the parents of the child are not only in the different day camp, but they are also demanding a second wedding. According to them, they've kept their silence for so long due to the shock and being distracted by everything else that's happened this year, but they feel that because of what happened, we aren't really married yet, and I'm not a part of the family. They understand that weddings are expensive, so my husband's parents offered to completely pay for this second wedding. That will be the real wedding in the family's eyes, and because it may be a year or two before this can be done safely, they will tolerate us living in sin indefinitely due to the circumstances. So,
well, that just took a turn. That's odd.
This post was written in June of 2020. So, COVID days.
Okay. I mean, my question is, like, did they have the ceremony and then the tragedy happened, or the tragedy happened and then they had the ceremony after, or like, it sounds like it was canceled, right? Kind of, or cut short, or...
I think they had the ceremony and it was at the reception.
Okay. If it were me, I'd probably want a different day and a different wedding. I'd celebrate our anniversary of our dating or something else, because I would be so sad.
Yeah.
Like, you're always associating your wedding anniversary with a child's death. Like, I don't care if you don't even know that kid.
Right.
That would crush me forever, and it would always be like a black cloud on your anniversary.
I agree. I don't think I could get over it.
I could not get over it. See, I'm like just totally speechless at the whole thing.
So there is one more edit real quick. I feel like I should address some things. 1, I did send condolences and attend the funeral. By not speaking, I meant since the funeral. 3, the pictures and caption on the post didn't reference the wedding itself. There was no lake visible in any of the pictures. I only used ones of my husband and I. 4, my husband and I are contemplating doing the second wedding to try and fix everything.
Interesting. Yeah, if it were me, I would do another wedding. If it were me. But like majority, like for myself though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall vote though was everyone sucks. You're not, and basically as I read through the comments, it was, yeah, you're not the asshole for celebrating your wedding, your anniversary. That's great. You're an asshole for making the post and not acknowledging or having a conversation with said parents prior.
Yes.
And, checking back in from time to time.
Right. Okay. I would agree with that. Oh, that's a sad one, Matt.
Can't
Come back from that.
All right.
Can you have one that's like more lighthearted?
I have one more.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I can't finish on that.
All right.
I'll just be sad.
Am I the asshole for leaving after my husband invited his parents to our first wedding anniversary?
Oh.
Huh.
Probably not.
Me, female, 26, and my husband, male, 25, got married a year ago. I'm the kind of person that really likes celebrating special occasions that are important to me. Before my husband and I got married, he promised to take us somewhere nice for our first wedding anniversary. And since my wedding was an absolute disaster, thanks to my in-laws, mother-in-law to be specific, again with the mother-in-laws, I saw this as a chance to have another special day to celebrate my relationship with my husband. But things have been rough the past few months. I'm 5 weeks pregnant, and our whole plan has changed. My husband suggested we have a dinner at a nice restaurant that his mom picked for us.
Odd.
And recommended. Okay, now she's trying to get involved this year too? Anyways, he showed me pictures and the type of food that they serve and asked me to pay. It's an expensive restaurant. I suggested we pick another, but he insisted. I agreed, and once we got there, I found out that the menu wasn't there, which was weird because I was ready to order. About 15 minutes of my husband stalling, his parents walked up to our table dressed nicely and sat down with us. I looked at my husband for an explanation, but he avoided me to tell his mom that the food they wanted was ordered ahead of time.
Wait a minute. Did that back up a little bit? Did you read that he asked her to pay for their anniversary dinner? He asked his wife to pay for the anniversary dinner?
Yeah.
And then he didn't tell her that his parents were going to be there? And then his parents just showed up?
Mm-hmm.
And he had pre-ordered something for his parents?
I think he pre-ordered all the food from
all over.
where we're at.
All the food. Okay, got it. Oh, just making sure I have that straight. Go ahead and continue.
Okay. So I looked at my husband for an explanation, but he avoided me to tell his mom that the food they wanted was ordered ahead of time. His mom immediately made backhanded comments about my hair, dress, weight, and didn't stop.
No.
I was literally mad, and her son started...
And she's pregnant!
Yeah. I was literally mad. She and her son started drinking while my father-in-law started talking to me about politics. The final straw was when she canceled the cake I wanted and replaced it with the other one her husband liked. I got up, told my husband to hand me the keys or I was going to walk. He tried to calm the situation down, and that's when his awful mom started talking about me acting inappropriately. She told her son, just hand me the keys, because she didn't want me to embarrass her. I left. An hour later, my husband came home, started berating me for overreacting and ruining dinner. I yelled at him, what the F was he thinking inviting his parents to our anniversary dinner? He said they paid for it, so he had to invite them. We started arguing, saying that he saw nothing wrong with what he did. He didn't even tell me, and argued about how I was being awful to his family. I went to my mom's after he insulted me. I've been feeling bad ever since. His mom texted me, but I've ignored her. Am I the asshole?
Wow. I'm just kind of speechless at how so many people thought that this was a good idea, that his parents thought this was a good idea, that he thought this was a good idea, right? Like, it's not a good idea, even if they pay for it.
There's just some anniversaries, I think, in my brain that are bigger than others, right? Like your 1 year anniversary is a huge deal.
That's special.
In my brain. That's special.
It's really special.
10 years, that's a big
Again,
deal. 5 years was
really
a big
special.
deal too.
Yeah.
1, 5, 10, and after that. But yeah.
After that, Matt's going to buy me lots of jewelry every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would never You're not the asshole lady. And that was the overall vote. I feel like I can't remember what anniversary it was, but we went out to dinner. Might have been our 9th last year. Did we hang out with Sarah and Brian after our anniversary? We had a babysitter. It was a weeknight. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
We could have.
So we went and celebrated with other people at the end of the night, but we still had like regular dinner and stuff.
Right. And we probably were like, hey, can we come over? Our babysitter isn't ready for us to come home yet. And we already ate dinner. So now we don't know what to do.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
we didn't
that's
want
what
to
we
go
did.
home. Yeah.
So.
And so, I mean, that's fun. You can go celebrate, especially with people you want to be with.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're inviting them and it's who you guys mutually agree upon.
Yes. Especially don't like blindside your partner with bringing people to your anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not a good surprise. No. And then when they changed the cake order, I mean, that would have done it for me too.
Would have been mad.
Yeah.
Amy likes her dessert.
I do. Don't change my dessert order. It's a very exciting thing. You don't order dessert all the time. That's like a special occasion treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So not the asshole. And I feel really bad. And I'm sorry that he's not. I really hope that like after a little bit of time and space and conversation and communication that he will come around. Because if he doesn't, that's a real red flag. Like that's the rest of your life. And you're married not just to your husband, but to his mother.
Yeah.
So, I mean, boundaries are important. And so I think, they need to learn how to make some of those. And he needs to learn how to make some of those.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
And if money is an issue, don't go to the fancy restaurant. Again, it's more about quality time than it is about price.
Yeah. Overall vote, not the asshole. A lot of people ask, why'd you even get married in the first place? Get divorced before the kid comes.
Ooh.
There are 3 of us in this marriage. Diana, Princess of Wales. I don't know that quote. Yeah. We're on the same page. I think everybody else will be too. So I wanted to do this earlier because we were talking about giving gifts, but there's a list, right? Of things you are not technically, I don't know where it even stems from.
It's like tradition
10 things
of
for
giving
10
gifts.
years. You're supposed to give this one year.
The Rouses do this.
Correct.
Yeah. So that can be a little bit of a guide on how to make it kind of sentimental, yet.
All right. Got it. So, what did anniversary gifts by the year? Number 1, paper. 2, cotton. 3, leather. 4, fruit and flowers. 5 is wood. 6 is candy or iron. Odd. 7th is wool or copper. 8th is bronze. 9 is pottery. And 10 is tin and aluminum.
Okay, and it goes on from there. But I think like the fun of it is like taking these categories and being kind of creative about it. So paper, it can be, sure, you can be very literal and get like very nice embossed, I don't know, letter paper to write letters on, I guess, if you're from the, 1800s. Or it could be like a
poster.
A poster or a photograph, right? Like a framed photograph or a photography session or something like that. Or paper, money.
Sure, please.
I don't know. Something like that. And then like aluminum could be a boat. I'm not getting that a boat for our 10-year anniversary, but you could.
I'll buy it for myself.
That would follow the rules of the categories.
Yeah.
So I think it makes it kind of fun. Like leather could be like a really nice watch with a leather band.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got some catching up to do. We could play catch up. We haven't done it.
Well, we could just start this year and move forward.
Maybe. Anniversaries are great. We have a lot of fun. Anytime we go out and go to dinner and do the deal.
Yeah. Can you believe that we have been doing this podcast for an entire year, though? A little more?
No.
Yeah.
Yes and no. It's been great.
Yeah. And if you've been with us from the beginning, like there are people who've listened to us from the beginning, which I find like amazing and really cool and kind of humbling also. And so, yeah, I think we just want to say thank you to you guys for showing up and listening to us and hanging out with us every week. So we can share our anniversary with you. I hope you had fun with our little episode today.
Yeah.
It was kind of a fun one.
As we continue down this path and continuing putting out episodes, please write in if there's other topics you want to hear about. Please write those in. That would be great. Very helpful. And please like, follow, subscribe, especially on YouTube. We appreciate you and have a great evening.
Bye. All right.